going to be assembling a Mad Bean zombie. You can go and check it out on madbeanpedals.com, and I've pretty much up to the stage where I've clear coated the box with this stuff. I find this one pretty good, the White Knight squirts. So that's just cleared over the top with a water slide decal underneath, and yeah, just putting it together. So first thing we put in is the 3-pole double throw switch. Goes in the top. You leave one washer goes underneath and the other one goes on top. It goes on top like that. And then instead of using pliers, I use a socket to tighten it up, because if you slip with the pliers you scratch the, which happens, yeah, you scratch the front of the enclosure. Next, put in the input. The input is the stereo jack, so that's the one with the 3 lugs on the top here, and that goes on the input, which, as you know, you put your guitar input on the right hand side, so the input goes on that side. Again, I can use a socket wrench, a socket to tighten that up, instead of using pliers, because they slip and scratch. And on the other side is the mono, which is the output. When you look at it from upside down, it actually looks back to front, so you just got to remind yourself that the input's on the right when you flip it over. Next we'll put in the PCB with the pots, because this is a pretty tight build. See there that the power and the pots are close together, and the power's not going to go in when the pots are in, so I'm going to put the pots in first. And again, when you put it in, you got to remember that it's back to front, so your voltage needs your volume needs to be on the right side. So in this case, my volume's on the left side, but when you turn it over, it's on the right side, so you just got to make sure you put it in the right way. It's something that you pick up when you do a heap of these. So the pots are in now, they're all tightened up. So next I'll just put in the power, which goes in the back there. So now the power's in, you can see that on the back there, it's where you put your Boss style power plug goes into there. And I'm just going to put a strip of double-sided foam tape on the back of the PCB, and then sort of stick it down like that. It's probably going to float a bit inside the case, but as long as it's sort of, I'm more worried about the shorting out of the bottom of the board than the actual whether it floats around or not, because once the back goes on, it usually gets pushed into place anyway. So I'll do that now. It's this stuff that I use, 3M. It's kind of a grey colour. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's basically double-sided tape. So now the back's got the tape on across the back of it, so it won't short out. So now I'm just going to roughly put it together just to make sure everything fits and looks good and all that. So this one's I'm actually using a light plate on it, which is this piece of plexiglass that I've cut out, drilled and sanded so it fits on the back. So if we get that in there, if I can get it in. So yeah, it'll look like that with the plexiglass, and then the back plate actually goes on the back of that, like that, so it sort of sandwiches the plexiglass between top and bottom. And I haven't done it yet, but I have to drill out the plexiglass a couple of holes and put a couple of LEDs through, and then when you turn the effect on, the plexiglass will light up, which I'm going to do red because I've got a bit of a red theme going on. So I'll just I'll just screw this into place for a minute and just put the knobs on so we can see what it's going to look like when it's finished. But yeah, obviously the inside isn't wired up yet, but that's going to be the next step. Okay, so to put the knobs on, you just turn them all back to 0, obviously, and then just place. I've got a black knob that I'm going to use for the volume, and red knobs that I'm going to use for the other controls, and then you just use a little precision screwdriver in the back of the grub screw to secure them into place. So that's physically what the pedal's going to look like. Obviously it's not functioning yet because I haven't actually wired up the internal wiring yet, but yeah, at this point I just like to put it together, make sure that it's all going to look proper. Yeah, so I'll wire it up, and when I'm finished wiring, I'll just do just show a quick demo of what the pedal looks like, you know, with the light obviously around the plexiglass, and what it sounds like as well. So I've drilled the holes in the bottom, and I've put the plexiglass on. I just put a couple of screws in it so it wouldn't fall off while I was showing you, and I've just hot glued the defuse LEDs into the plexiglass. You have to defuse the LEDs for the plexiglass because they've got a lens on the top, and the light needs to come out the side, so it comes out the sides of the plexiglass when it goes in, or it assists it to light up the plexiglass because the lens kind of points straight forward. So you just use a bit of sandpaper and rough it up. Yeah, so it's all wired up, and yeah, we can give it a go now. I've finished putting it together, and the plexiglass is in, and if you hit the activation button, it switches on like that, and yeah, you can see the 2 LEDs in there. It looks a bit more prominent on the video than it actually is in real life, but it looks pretty good on the floor too actually, because it's sort of, let's get down the right spot. It yeah, lights up. It's got the bling factor going. Let's get that on the screen. Yeah, so that's the pedal, and just turn it on and turn the amp on, see if it works. So that should be bypass. Which it is, and then you hit the button, turn it on, and it's fuzz. It's obviously a fuzz pedal, so I'll turn it down a bit. This thing does all sorts of crazy sounds. I can't mention what the pedal is based on for copyright reasons, but if you go to the Mad Bean forum, you'll be able to find plenty of information there. The stability knob makes it go crazy, which is what that noise was. Gives it a bit of a octave sound actually, that. Yeah, it uses germanium transistors too. There's another little hint for you. Anyway, that's the demo of the pedal. I'll probably have more demos on actually putting this stuff together and doing it yourself in the future, but yeah, that's the first one anyway. Hope you like it.